प्रतिबोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
Geetamritam. This is a mesmerizing retreat for the elite souls who have gathered here with their prudent minds. We have prepared a distilled portion out of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. While looking at the vast ocean with two little eyes, a child finds an interesting idea. Whatever the size of wilderness you have captured, with ease behold my tiny eyes, said the little person. Bhagavad Gita is an instrument to behold into the wilderness of spiritual wisdom. It is actually a great spectacle to enjoy some of the most intriguing thoughts along with its utmost pacifying answers. The idea behind our presentation is not to tranquilize you through the 18 adhyayas of this exemplary collection of shlokas, but also to facilitate the minutest of all its virtues, if possible, to be imbibed into your intellect. Just like the child who discovered that her eye could hold the entire volume of the sea, although through a different realm of perception, we are trying to let you realize the capacity of the supreme religious text that is being celebrated across the entire humanity. Our humble venture will let you take the foremost little step towards it. Here it is, Geetamritam.
Chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yogam. The first chapter introduces the scene, the setting, the circumstances and the characters involved in determining the reasons for the Bhagavad Gita's revelation. The scene is the sacred plain of Kurukshetra. The setting is a battlefield. The circumstance is war. The main characters are the Supreme Lord Krishna and Prince Arjuna, witnessed by 4 million soldiers, led by their respective military commanders. After naming the principal warriors on both sides, Arjuna begins to get gloomy. It is described that his growing dejection is due to the fear of losing friends and relatives in the course of the impending war, and its subsequent sins. Thus, this chapter is entitled, Lamenting the Consequence of War. Dhritarashtra uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavedayuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjayaha. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after assembling in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? King Dhritarashtra of Hastinapura asks his minister Sanjaya as to what happened on the battlefield. Sanjaya had received clairvoyance by the grace of Vedavyasa. He related all the events exactly as they happened by having the ability to witness them directly within his mind, as if he was present there.
Arjuna uvacha drishtvaimam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam sidandi mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present here before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up." After seeing his kinsmen, friends and relatives on the battlefield, Arjuna was at once overwhelmed by the compassion for them, who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his own soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning. However, he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party for seeing their imminent death. Thus, so thinking, the limbs of his body began to tremble and his mouth became dry.
Chapter 2, Sangeetholsavam. In this chapter, Arjuna accepts the position as a disciple of Lord Krishna and taking complete refuge in him, requests the Lord to instruct him how to dispel his lamentation and grief. This chapter is often deemed as a summary to the entire Bhagavad Gita. Here, many subjects are explained such as Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, and so on. Predominance has been given to the immortal nature of the soul existing within all living entities, and it has been described in great detail. Thus, this chapter is entitled The Eternal Reality of the Soul's Immortality. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sataha, ubhayorabi drishtonda, stvanayos tattvadarshibhai. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent there is no endurance, and of the existence there is no cessation. These seers have concluded by studying the nature of both. Karmanyevadikaraste ma bhaleshu kadajana ma karma bhalahe durbhur ma te sango sakarmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the result of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, work, and inaction. Prescribed duties refer to activities performed while one is in the modes of material nature. Work here means actions without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bhijayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger develops. Having pointed out the defect of not having the external physical sensor under control, the defect in not having the mind under control is now being given in these two verses. For one who is given to dreaming about sensual pursuits, considering them worthy of indulgence, a strong attachment develops for them. From this strong attachment arises desires for them, and from these desires flares up anger when these addicting desires are not satisfied. Hari Om.
Chapter 3, Karma Yoga, knowing one's self. Self-realization is a topic that is profoundly discussed in this chapter. It actuates the thought that one can be securely situated in a transcendental position without being influenced by any material interferences when the steady intelligence becomes focused in one's pure identity. Bhagavan assures that a devotee who performs nishkama karma is the greatest of all. While he doesn't wait for the fruits of his devotion, The less intelligent ones manifest themselves among the jerks of sensual pleasure. The one who upholds dharma as his prescribed duty is certainly a follower of Bhagavan. While staying away from the vicious influences of the material world, such people gradually make their way towards the ultimate abode of Bhagavan. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyathatma chedasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vikadajvara. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your karma to me with a steady mind that does not desire fruits of your work, keep yourself free from egoism as well as lethargy and do fight. This message is vital to every ordinary person when sometimes, for no defined reason, they feel down and depressed and engaged in relentless thinking. Bhagavan urges them to wake up and to fight the negativity that surrounds them out of their way. Hari Om.
Chapter 4, Jnana Yoga.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham.
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in the practice of dharma and a predominant of rise of evil, I do dissent myself.
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
To reinstate the state of piousness and to annihilate the miscontents, to establish righteousness and to advance myself from time to time. The 42 slokas in chapter 4 discusses the subject of transcendental knowledge. There is something referred to as Sanadana Yoga. It conveys the idea behind how external activities are being performed by living entities. It takes two forms, one in which man sacrifices his own material possessions through offerings, and another in which he realizes the knowledge of his true self. The latter is pure spiritual activity.
Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
The knowledge of self-realization has been secured through bhakti or devotion, service or sena, and sacrifice, which here means Sanadana Yoga. Transcendental knowledge of the soul is purifying and liberating at the same time. Hari Om.
Chapter 5, Sannyasa Yoga. The 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a practical explanation of the importance of following one's karma in bhakti, which means work in devotion. The 7th shloka of chapter 5 goes like this. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. The one who works in bhakti or devotion and is thus a pure soul can control his mind and senses, and he is always the most accepted person. Although he is constantly performing his karma, he is seldom entangled by the vices of his surroundings. A serene soul is the eternal servant of Bhagavan. He is also a fragment of the supreme power of himself. He sometimes can encounter the factor called Maya, which is illusion, due to his desire to overpower, exploit, and enjoy the material realm. This is the cause of misery. If the righteous man does not desire the outcome of his karma, he is well renounced. The person who performs nishkama karma, the duty, by not seeking a material outcome, by actually surrendering himself to the Bhagavan, hence attains peace, detachment, forbearance, tolerance, spiritual vision, and absolute bliss. The self-intelligent never rejoices or laments upon achieving or losing. He remains transcendental in a state of nirvana. While he perceives everything and everyone as part and parcel of the divine power, he attains peace from the pangs of all material misery. Hari Om.
Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is superlative combination of knowledge and renaissance of the Karma Yoga. When Jnana Yoga is empowered through meditation with the mind fixed on the supreme power, it is called the Ashtanga Yoga, which is the same as Dhyana Yoga. One abandons all material desire, engaging in the service of Bhagavan, such as conqueror of the mind, automatically follows the promotes from his super soul, which we refer to as Paramatma, which is actually the form of Lord within our hearts.
Uttharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha.
According to this, man must elevate himself by his own mind. The mind is the friend of his conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Hari Om.
Namaste. Chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. The 8 features of the Supreme Force are Bhumi, earth, Jalam, water, Vayu, air, Akash, sky, Manas, which is mind, Buddhi, intelligence, Agni, fire, and Ahangara. Bhagavan envisages himself to be the source of all these energies. Bhagavan also identifies 4 different types of devotees. He says to Arjuna like this: Chadurvidha bhajande mam jana sukridinorjunaha arto jijnasurarthirthi jnani cha bharadarshapha. The distressed, the desirer, the inquisitive, and the one who desires knowledge are the 4 kinds of people who render service to Bhagavan. The one who does that in true knowledge and staying free from material desire is the best. Bhagavan is, of course, unborn, infallible, and the supreme knower of the past, present, and the future. All living beings are born into the delusion and hence are bewildered by dualities arising from desires and hate. The pious souls who keeps practicing the rules of Dhyana, Sankhya, Jnana, Dharma, and various phases of Bhagavan's transcendental expressions stays in bhakti right until his last breath and thus attains the divine abode of the Lord. Hari Om.
Chapter 8, Akshara Brahma Yoga. Krishna Bhakti is a true conveyance towards the supreme abode beyond the material world. It is heavenly. Our thoughts and actions during the course of life accumulates in our mind and culminates into a refined form at the last moment of life. Whatever state of being one remembers at the time of death, he attains that without fail. This life creates one's next life. So, one should always meditate upon the Supreme Lord as he is the oldest, the supreme controller, smaller than the smallest, and yet all-pervading. He is inconceivable and way beyond this material nature. He is pervading and everything is situated in him. In Satchakra Yoga practice, one first has to close the doors of all sense enjoyment. One should not engage in self-gratification and has to practice celibacy. In this way, the mind focuses on the super soul in the heart and the life force is raised to the top of head with the utterance of Om. Such people attains moksha, which is the ultimate liberation. The material world is a place of miseries where man is born and reborn to pay off his voices every following time. Om Ityekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran Yaprayatityajanteham Sayadi Paramam Gati. The sloka assures that anyone whose mind is strongly focused in the supreme strength of Bhagavan while sitting in the echoing ambience of the foremost Shabda of nature, which is the Omkara, will attain the Paramagati, which is Moksha, in the eternal life. Hari Om.